I'm Phuthi Mahanyele-Dabengwa, and I'm the Executive Director of Naspers Limited. I think digital transformation has a critical role to play in building a more inclusive society. And one of the issues that I look at, and which I shared this morning, was the fact that we have 860 million people on the African continent that still remain unconnected. And so these are people who don't have access to the internet at all. And so one of the key priorities for us is ensuring that we can have access to as many people as possible. And so we are looking at connectivity as a key priority for us to look at. The second issue is looking at skilling, because whilst the African continent has a number of young, we have a high population of young people, the problem is that they are not skilled. And the reality is that in the digital world, we don't have enough skills. And so the opportunity for us is to ensure that we have as many young people as possible who are sufficiently skilled to be able to become real significant players in the world of AI and in the entire digital world, in cybersecurity and many other areas where we actually don't have enough of the skills right here in South Africa, and not even thinking about the rest of the G20 countries. But So we have that opportunity. And then obviously we are also looking at issues of ethics around AI as well. And so those are just some of the key issues that we are focusing on as the task force. It's important for me to be representing African innovation on a global scale because of the fact that it is such an opportune time for us to be able to do so. When you think about the fact that in the most countries in the north, the reality is that companies are now looking at robots to be able to play certain roles because of aging populations within those nations. And yet for youthful nations such as ours, we ought to be able to ensure that our people have the skills to be able to play those roles. And so, the reality is that we need to move at a faster pace. And so being on the B20 provides me with the ability to ensure that I influence that thinking. And so in looking at the B20 now, and as the last Global South country that is hosting the B20 and the G20, it is important that we are driving this narrative that will ensure that the Global South becomes a real player in terms of what we are seeing in AI, the development of AI, also in cybersecurity and many other areas in the world of AI. And so this is an opportune time for us, but we need to make sure that we use it as productively as possible and as quickly as possible as well. So digital transformation plays an important role in looking at the SDGs. So if you look at education as an example, that is a key role that the digital world plays into. And right now we're in a position where we are all continuously, those of us who are in the industry, as well as those who are looking to come into the industry, and we are looking for more people to be coming in. So education is critical for us. And then also we are, ensuring that we have inclusivity in terms of gender equality. That's a critical SDG for us, ensuring that we, have both men and women within our industry. I mean, if you look at South Africa, we have more female graduates with STEM subjects than we do male graduates. And yet, when you look at roles, particularly senior roles, you don't see enough women, notwithstanding that. And so we need to ensure that we are, creating more inclusive work environments. And so there's a number of the SDGs that are really very much aligned with the digital transformation workforce task force. And so it's important for us, and we are, in looking at the work that we're doing, we're really focused on ensuring that we can achieve those, because after we are finished with our work at the end of this year, we'll be handing over now to the Global North, and obviously they may have different deliverables that they'll be looking at.